How's it? Today is Wednesday, January 21st. It is a clean and jerk day with some, I guess my complex has some front squats in it. Kind of basically exactly what I did last week. But yeah, over the weekend, if you hadn't watched my video yesterday, I went to Tahoe and I snowboarded for the first time, and I'm hooked on it. And I can't stop thinking about it. You know, it's kind of a little bit of a meme because go snowboarding once and that becomes my whole identity. um, that's not what I want to happen, but the chances are quite high that that is potentially what is going to happen. That's all I get in my Instagram feed. That's all I get on YouTube is just videos of snowboard equipment, snowboard technique, and how to learn faster and all these things. Um, but going to actually be in my weightlifting stuff, today was pretty good. I think yesterday's technique for my snatches was quite exceptional. On some of them, my timing was really really great, and my back felt pretty good. And today, my back feels pretty good again. And I think there is a little bit of discomfort from the tailbone being perhaps a little bit bruised, but I don't think that that is the same issue that I was dealing with before. And so I'm super, super happy with that. I'm very excited about lifting weights again. I don't know if it's because I have another, you know, uh, athletic venture on the horizon or on my mind in snowboarding, or if it's because my back is feeling, you know, pretty good, especially considering where I've been, and it's just giving me a lot of hope. Hope is a very, very, very strong emotion. So I am very, very thankful for where I am right now. I think a lot of my issues, hopefully, are are behind me right now. Of course, I'm gonna continue to try to do a lot of my rehab stuff. That is probably my key to success. Not really the snowboarding in itself, but maybe the snowboarding did help because I didn't. I had basically 3 days off from the stresses that have been giving me the lower back issues. I lifted on Friday. Pretty light, pretty easy stuff, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday were 3 days essentially off, but still quite a lot of other physical activity. So maybe that's part of the key to getting back to where I want to be. It's just it's really hard to try my best to figure out how I'm supposed to be moving. Like there is a certain amount of intensity that is makes sense to increase every single week, but at a certain point, do I push into pain? Do I push into any amount of discomfort? All of these things is all of these things is That's not grammatically correct. All of these things are things that I need to really really examine and think about as I move forward. Like I have to be very careful about what it is that I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and just kind of assess it at every single step of the way. I can't like commit to a program right now and run it through and then try to get to the end and then see how it turned out. In the case that I do pick the perfect program for myself or write the perfect program for myself, then yeah, it would make sense to kind of do the whole thing and then look back. But very rarely will things work out the way that you want them to, especially if you're as injured as I have been in the last year, last 8 months, stuff like that. Maybe this year the goal is by the end of January to be pretty normal and start lifting weights normally again. Maybe this year's the year I do the Russian squat routine. Who knows? I can't say for certain. I think if I continue to push the intensity on all of these anterior abdominal exercises, I think I'm going to make a lot of progress very quickly. So that is something I'm going to keep doing. Of course, I did my single split leg deadlift things. Yesterday I did my rows here today, and then my dragon flags, and then of course these little windshield wipers. I think in the short term, I want these to be very clean. You see how my lower back here is a little bit rounded, and my hips are a little bit high, then low, then high, then low. I want them to all be kind of in a straight line. It's going to take a lot of work, but I've never been scared of working. I've been scared of not working. Wow, that's a crazy sentence to say out loud, but it is definitely true. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.